Hey viewers, welcome to another game with Casual Pro Gamer. Sorry, I'll show you in a moment why this was funny. Today we're doing another StarCraft 2 match between QuanticState as the Terran on the left side, and go away. I don't know if you can see her, but Izzy is here. And MStephano as the Zerg in, well, the top of the map. And so a Zerg versus Terran, it's a kind of a different matchup than we normally see. And I'm going to try to get my cat to actually show herself, but she is really afraid of of being in front of the camera for some reason when I'm recording, even though she has no clue what a camera is, of course. But she does know that something is up, because well, otherwise I never try to put her well, in a certain position, only if I want something from her, and that's when she runs away. So anyway, yeah, just some SCVs and drones being produced. It's all good. Yeah, there's really nothing special going on for now. We see the wall off here, or, well, the first part of the wall off. Not really building onto that, though. Normally we see the barracks coming out immediately, but he is going for that command center, it seems. Because, well, he's building the command center. No, he was saving up 400 minerals instead of going for that barrack, so he's making the wall off with the command center, which means that he's going for a very economical opening. And we see the hatchery, of course, on the Zerg player, because he's scouted around here and kind of saw nothing. I'm not even sure if he could... No, I'm pretty sure he couldn't see what was going on. Now he can see it, but... let's see, yeah, now he can see that there is indeed a command center coming up. Oh, he can't click that? So he doesn't know what this is. He may actually see it from the size, though, because these guys are good and I am sucky. So yeah, there's a difference in size in the two buildings, so they may actually be able to see just from that what kind of building it is. And he doesn't need to come any closer than that. Going to put his overlord over here, which is on the high ground, which makes it impossible to spot from below, unless you have a flying unit of your own. But it is a very good tactic, of course. So, yeah, the drones just streaming in. He's just producing drones and queens and, well, economy, basically. And whereas the Terran player is doing exactly the same. He's just building orbital commands now, building a few marines, of course, because, well, marine production takes a lot longer than the production of, for example, Zerglings, because Zerglings you can all make at the same moment, especially when your queens are out and when you have those injected larvae. So once you start spawning larvae, like now, then you basically have this this ability to produce a complete army in seconds, and that is exactly what he's trying to, or he's going to do, because the moment he sees these marines coming in, he's going to produce a whole army of Zerglings instead of yeah, producing a few at a time, which we normally see in Protoss and Terran. But not in Zerg, because Zerg is really all about producing that army at once, at the moment it's needed, or well, a few seconds before it's needed. Still no production, because he has no scouts out, he has no overlords around the map, so no overlord here, for example. And yeah, it's going to see the marines incoming right now, and let's see what the reaction is. It seems that the queens are good enough to defend that. And he's going to build a bunker over there, just to take out this hatchery. The hatchery might actually get cancelled, but no, 12 Zerglings being produced. As I said, it takes 24 seconds. So normally you want that advanced scout, you want to have a Zergling over here, for example, and maybe an overlord or two spread around that, well, along that attack path, just to make sure that you can actually see what's happening. And after that first bunker, a second one is coming up, and he's going to fall back to that bunker, just to make sure that he can still attack it. And there are the Zerglings. The Zerglings are not speed upgraded. He just started the upgrade on that speed, and he might actually be able to defeat his first bunker. Yep, he does. And are the Zerglings all going to go down? Yeah, they are. They pretty much are. The bunker is not going to finish because the SCV died. And yeah, that's the end of that. So, oh, you didn't even cancel that. Okay. No cancel. That's cool. That means he lost 100 minerals instead of the 33 that he would normally lose. Maybe 30? I'm not sure whether it's... I think it's 30%, so that would be 30 minerals then. Anyway, good reaction there from our Zerg player, and as I said, yeah, Zerg are just known for producing that that whole army at once, and that is the advantage of Zerg. You can build economy up until the point where you actually need an army, and then it takes 24 seconds for Zerglings and 27 for roaches. So it's kind of similar. If you just have 30 seconds scout in advance. So if you have a scout over here, it takes 30 seconds to get to your base, and then you have plenty of time to react to that. You either have 3 or 6 seconds to react, and then your units will be out by the time the enemy units arrive at your base. Of course, yeah, it's not an exact science like that, but yeah, even if you're off by a few seconds, it's not a big deal. It is not a huge deal, at least. The queens that are spreading creep, where are they? Because they can actually be used. Oh, they're over here. He's still spreading creep with them. And, well, with one of them, the other one died? Or did it... Oh, maybe it's this one. That could actually be. But, yeah, that queen can actually be used to... and finding this one, well, that can actually be used to heal up this hatchery. Because you can actually use your transfusion on that. But yeah, he would have to retreat his queen and stop producing these creep tumors. But of course, creep tumors are really useful, so that's why he's producing them. He should really connect these two bases, by the way. And probably spread around some creep over here, because this is a number one drop spot where people like to drop their crap. And it would be very useful to utilize that. So there's an island on this map. Well, actually two, because most of the maps are symmetrical. So these islands can of course be used to drop your workers on, then build a base, and then you have a very safe expansion, because it can only get sniped by drops or air units. And that is a whole lot safer than when Zerglings can come in. Problem is, of course, you need to have a flying unit, and the only race that doesn't have that is the Zerg. And yeah, the Zerg have the ability to just build here, first of all, because there's creep here. The rest cannot really build there. And yeah, the detection, because you need detection to get rid of this, except when you're a Zerg. Because if you're a Zerg, you can build on the creep, and it doesn't really matter whose creep it is. But the Zergs really have to invest heavily to get an airdrop unit to, to have drop on their overlords in order to drop some units there. So we have the drop coming in over here, and did he see it in time? 22 Zerglings being produced right now, so I think he just saw it. And yeah, there are the Zerglings that were already in. They're going to die, at least a couple of them are going to die. Oh, he's just going to retreat, which is way better. And a little bit of an army coming in over here. It sniped one roach, but that's about it. He's going to lose 2 marines for that, so it's an equal trade for both of them. And it's not like one of them actually got an advantage out of that. But here we are going to lose some Zerglings, but the marines should get picked up. And oh, he's still maneuvering somewhere else, I guess. Or he thinks that he can still do more damage than the Zerg can do to him. Well, he picked up quite a lot of the the Zerglings, because with the Stimpack plus heal, you can do a lot of damage and stay alive for a long time. But look at this army. It's just an insanely big army. He's already at level 3 with Carapace and the attack, the melee attack. So the Zerglings are starting to do really big damage. And of course the ranged attacks, hang on. No, that's not ranged attack. These are just for well, this is for the Banelings. Oh, Greater Spire, wow. The adrenal glands are for the Zerglings, though. That's faster attack speed, right? Increase the attack speed of Zerglings, yeah. So the Infestors are out. Infestors, of course, are very good at holding off large groups of Marines. And yeah, I kind of didn't point out that he was doing some, or well, in a previous match, I forgot to point out that you can of course use the feedback on the Infestors if you're Protoss and you have some High Templar lying around. I kind of assumed that would be obvious, but yeah, I didn't mention it, and someone mentioned that I didn't mention it, so I will try to incorporate your advice and your, well, the things that you miss in commentary. So please leave comments if you think that I should do something in a different way, because I do appreciate that. I'm still relatively new at this, so I'm trying to kind of get a feeling for how much people know about the game, how much, what kind of things they want to hear. Because yeah, well, obviously I can do everything. I can do the very basic strategy analysis. I can also just tell you what's happening on the screen, which is what most people want to hear apparently, which is fine. I don't really mind. I can also just tell you about yeah, the game and how it's played, so the more basic stuff. So we can go from really basic to really advanced and anything in between. Just let me know what you want, and as I said, I'll try to incorporate it in there. Wow, that was very nice. He put up a couple Marines here, and those got attacked by the Zerglings, and the Zerglings just melted to the tanks, but the tanks were never in any danger, because the tanks were far behind that. And yeah, retreating with his dropships here. It is really, by the way, the Terran player that's playing aggressive, and then the Zerg player is really not caring at all. He's just expanding his creep, which gets pushed back every now and then, but that's fine. And then, yeah, just defending the points. He is still at 5 bases, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's 5. So he's at 5 bases, and yeah, the Terran player is trying to make a dent in those, but really not managing to do so. I'm not really sure who's ahead for this moment, but we can easily see that by the units lost. It seems that the Terran is severely behind, and that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure, because the Terran has been aggressive all game, whereas the Zerg player has just been farming up all game. And really, yeah, he hasn't really worried about any of the attacks. He can see them coming in, because these creep tumors give you vision. And basically the drops are the only thing that has been really effective. And, well, for the rest, yeah, not so much. So, yeah, we're just, as the Zerg player, we're currently just hoarding up some minerals to make sure that after this next attack, because there is a next attack incoming, and it's not this is just a drop, it doesn't matter. But after the next attack, he's going to lose, or both of them are going to lose some, well, many of their units. And the trick is, as the Zerg player, you can replenish your army in like 30 seconds. Whereas as the Terran player, you need to build up an entire new army, producing one at a time. Oh wow, losing an entire 300 minerals there. That is unfortunate. So yeah, we have some ravens out once again. We see the raven play. Did they buff the raven or something like that? Because that's the second game in a row that I see a lot of ravens. Of course, every now and then you see like one raven to detect the creep tumors, because it's cost efficient compared to the scans. But on the other hand, if you're maxed out, it's better to have an extra attack unit than to have well, extra minerals from the mules, because that really doesn't matter too much. Is he going to take out this spine crawler? No, not even. The spine crawler is going to stay alive, and it didn't even get healed, I think. And wow, yeah, those air units combined with the fungal growth just completely wrecking the dropships, well, the medevacs, I guess, and just entirely, well, killing them off without losing anything there, without doing any, well, anything fancy even. Because all he had to do was land that one fungal growth, and even if they didn't land, I think it would have been enough. And wow, those broodlords here just gearing up for this attack. He knows that there are a lot of anti-air units out, and that's why these guys are coming out, because the infested Terrans really good at holding off those air units, because the air units cannot shoot the ground units. And that's the disadvantage of playing Terran. Also Zerg has that. I guess Protoss is the only one that doesn't have that. Well, unless you build... yeah, you don't normally build the... what are they called? I forgot what they're called. Well, the anti-air or air-to-air fighters, you normally don't build those to battle the broodlords or anything like that. You normally just build stalkers. So we have a nice mix here from the Zerg player. Lots of broodlords, lots of infestors, and yeah, just a whole bunch of great utility and high damage units. And of course we have the anti-air to air, because the corruptors, yeah, those are the ones that convert into broodlords, but they're also the ones that can take out the Vikings pretty well. And so, yeah, both of them have air-to-air missiles, or well, units. And wow, this base gets taken out again, and I think the Zerg player is currently in a little bit of trouble, because he's getting mined out in 3 out of his 5 bases, whereas the Terran player may actually have some mining left. No, yeah, well, yeah, I guess it's about equal. It's just that the Terran player is really behind in stacking up. So if the Zerg player just goes in at this moment, oh, let's show you this. If the Zerg player just goes in and goes to kill everything or trade everything, so his army for the Terran army, then he will be able to replenish it in seconds, whereas the Terran player will have to, well, to rebuild everything one by one. And as you can see, that is exactly what he's going for. The Terran player falling back with his air units, but that's the only thing he can save. He's going to lose his ravens even, so the only thing that is still left is some air-to-air units. But yeah, that is not going to be good enough. So yeah, now the Terran player is in some trouble, because as you can see, he needs to produce a new army, but he can only produce them one at a time. So one marine, or sometimes of course with the reactors you can produce 2 marines at a time, but still it's only small numbers, whereas the Zerg player can just say, I want 20 of these in one go. And wow, look at that. The infested Terrans coming out. They're going to ruin the faces of everything. They're just great at taking damage and distracting things, distracting everything. And just, yeah. The air battle is won with this many corruptors, obviously. And with the air battle won, these broodlords are going to clean up. They're not going to have any threats coming in, except for the marines, but the marines should be no problem for the broodlords. and especially with some backup from the infestors. It's a very nice combination, but it worked because he got so many minerals compared to his opponent. Look, he spent 3,000 more minerals on replenishing his army, and yeah, that really shows in the amount of units, or in the type of units he has, not so much in the amount, because both of them had a pretty decent army. But yeah, he just got so many resources. If we look at the income, then we can see that the Terran is actually ahead because of all the mules. Let's see, spend. So spending, yeah, you can see that both of them had a pretty decent army investment, pretty decent technology, and the Terran player just invested more in economy because, well, he had to have all of those workers that weren't going to do anything anymore right now because everything is starting to get mined out, and yeah, I guess he had to produce some extra command centers as well. Oh yeah, he did. So he produced some extra command centers. That's all economy, by the way. That's why he has such a high spending there. So building multiple command centers per position just to get those mules out. And yeah, just in the end losing out because he just didn't have enough income. And the army composition, because of that high income from the Zerg player, the army composition was just much better on that side. And yeah, he just couldn't make it work. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.